All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today we are diving into a story about how one really bad day and one single impulsive act of disrespect can light the fuse for a kingdom-shattering curse. It's a fascinating look at a father's forgiveness clashing with a son's fury, and it all kicks off with a taunt. We're jumping right into the middle of the action here with this incredibly vicious taunt. These words, spoken between friends, are the tiny spark that's about to ignite a massive fire. This is that exact moment when a piece of gossip becomes a weapon. This is really the heart of the whole story. It's a simple but devastating chain reaction. A king has a frustrating day. He lashes out, and that one single act spirals into a complete catastrophe. But here's the twist. The crisis isn't caused by the insult itself, but by the wounded, furious pride of the victim's son. So who is this son, right? And why does this taunt hit him so incredibly hard? To understand the explosion, we first need to meet the powder keg himself, a young man named Sringin.
So this is Sringin, and you've got to understand, he's not just any young man. He is a deeply dedicated sage who has built up immense power through his spiritual discipline. But there's a catch. He's got a famously short fuse. When he gets provoked, the text literally says he starts smoking like poison. Now, to really get why Sringin's rage is so dangerous, we have to understand this crucial concept, tejas. See, this isn't just about being angry. Tejas is like a supernatural inner fire, a kind of brilliance you gain through intense spiritual discipline. So when Sringin's anger is stoked, it's not just an emotion, it's a cosmic force that's about to be unleashed. Okay, so to figure out why Sringin just completely erupts, we've got to rewind a bit. We need to see what led to the insult against his father in the first place. And this all starts with a very, very frustrated king. So, meet King Parikshit. He's a descendant of the Kurus, a mighty hunter. He's out on a hunt, and for the first time, a deer he has shot actually gets away from him. He chases it deeper and deeper into the forest, getting more and more exhausted, more thirsty. He is at his absolute breaking point when he stumbles upon a sage. He goes up to the sage and pretty much demands to know if he's seen the deer. He pulls rank, announces who he is, fully expecting an immediate respectful answer. But instead, he gets nothing. Just complete silence. The king's patience it's completely run out. And faced with this wall of silence, he's about to make a fateful and deeply disrespectful mistake. And here's the critical piece of the puzzle that the king is missing. The sage, who happens to be Sringin's father, is observing what's called a Mona Vrata. It's a sacred vow of total, absolute silence. So he isn't ignoring the king. He literally cannot speak. So feeling ignored and just fuming, King Parikshit's anger just boils over. He sees a dead snake on the ground, and in this shocking act of disrespect, he uses the tip of his bow to just lift it up and drape it over the silent sage's shoulders. And then he just leaves. This slide just captures the central conflict perfectly, doesn't it? On one side, you've got the father, silent, patient, totally forgiving. And on the other side, you've got the son, vocal, proud, and basically a powder keg of righteous anger just waiting for a spark. And here's what's so incredible. The sage, the man who is actually insulted, the guy with a dead snake on his shoulders, he isn't angry at all. He doesn't protest, and in his heart, he completely forgives the king. As far as he's concerned, the incident is over. But just because the victim forgave the act doesn't mean the story's over. Oh no. That insult is about to find a brand new and much more volatile target.
Sringin is on his way home from his studies when he bumps into a friend named Krisa, and Krisa has heard what happened to Sringin's father, but he doesn't deliver this news with any kind of sympathy. He delivers it with a laugh.
Krisa doesn't just share the news, he weaponizes it. He tells Sringin what happened and then mocks him directly, saying, "Don't you dare speak haughtily to us, you can't do anything about it." He's challenging Sringin's power, basically saying his pride is totally worthless. And this brings us right back to where we started. A young man, filled to the brim with immense spiritual power, has just been publicly humiliated through an insult to his father. The fuse has been well and truly lit. You see, for Sringin, this was never just about a dead snake. It was about honor. It was about dignity and the public perception of his and his father's power.
That taunt from his friend was the final push, and that powerful Tejas inside him just ignites. He blazes up in anger, smoking like poison. This whole cascade of events leaves us with a really powerful question. The father's forgiveness could have ended the story right then and there. But instead, it's the son's rage that ensures it will all end in tragedy. And it forces us to ask, when our own pride is on the line, how do we know when defending our honor is about to cost us far, far more than the original insult ever did?